as much as Anita wants to stay home, I convinced her to go, and I'm sure the dogs will appreciate it. So, take two on our family canoeing disaster vacation. Have you ever screwed up a canoe trip? So bad that you had to turn back and head home? Yep, that was me on a family Thanksgiving canoe trip that I ruined, but thankfully was still able to salvage. Here's our story. In the fall of 2020, we decided to head out on a canoe trip over the Thanksgiving weekend. The weather was supposed to be nice, the colors were still vibrant, and it was a while since we last got out together as a family. Everything looked to be perfect, but little did we know, it was far from it.
No.
Okay, good morning. We are at the Harris Lake access point, and as you can see, my crazy family are standing there by the vehicle.
Crazy because we're with you.
And we're about to embark on 3 days of an easy canoe trip to get back out again. Our last trip together was in the summer, and it didn't go so well, and we had to bail early. So hopefully this trip will be a little bit better. It will be actually a very easy trip. We're not planning on doing any kind of portaging, and you'll know by the amount of gear that we're going to be unpacking. But we actually brought a hot tent. Anita, we were originally going to do a cold tent, but Anita requested the hot tent, so I thought, why not? It's always it's really nice to sleep in a canvas tent, and the rain forecast was supposed to be pretty minimal, but there are some pretty dark clouds moving in, so that's a little bit of a worry. We did bring one tarp, so if it does rain, we'll have to set the tarp on top of the canvas tent, because the canvas tent is not waterproof. It might be water resistant, but not waterproof. Anyhow, we're gonna get unpacked, and we're gonna get this trip started, and I'm looking forward to having a good, memorable 3 days with my family.
Hello now.
I really hope it doesn't rain. It's just a dark cloud moving through.
I hope so too. It's supposed to be a nice day today.
It's supposed to be.
But then again, we were listening to the forecast for the south. We're gonna go this way.
Good one, Ted. I'll take it over to the dog.
Okay.
And then when we get out, you can hold it so you know.
Oh, Miss Molly, you gained weight. That's a little on the snug side, girl. I have to fix that, don't I? Maximo. There it is. Have it? Thank you. Oh, I guess it won't fit, right?
Well, don't you want the pack close to you? So then
Yeah, that's no. I see what you're saying.
No, you won't. Just... There we go. Wow, I'm not even have.
Stay.
It was ideal conditions for paddling as we made our way down the calm and placid lake. Along the way, we stopped at various locations to check out potential campsites while enjoying the autumn colors along the way. On days like this, you just want time to stand still. So we are on Harris Lake still, and we are just going down a back channel. We're just bouncing around from point to point, trying to look for a decent campsite. We found a couple that was close to the access point, but we're just trying to get further away because you can hear the highway and you can see the vehicles. So not the greatest view, but there was some good campsites. Anyhow, we're gonna just continue on. It's only noon, so we've got lots of time. Max has already jumped in the water. The doofus is now shivering. But anyhow, that's more of his fiasco continuing on after throwing up in the car and making a mess. So hopefully we can find a campsite soon, and like I said, we got the hot tent, so I'm sure he'll be able to dry and warm up pretty quickly in there once we get it set up. Hey Max, he's a shark. Look at him.
Okay, Max, come on, let's go.
Max, no, you don't bite that. If you look at that leash, got so many bite marks. Max. Okay, let's go. Started out as a nice sunny day, but it's overcast now. There was a little sprinkle of rain, but has stopped. So hopefully that's it, but there's still pretty dark clouds above, so a little eager to find a campsite soon. So we just came upon this site, and this one is really well used. It's not too dirty, but there is enough junk around, like this chair and some other ones in the back. There's a whole bunch of grill, and there's a fire pit. But I mean, the view from here is actually really nice. We decided to move on and find something more in its natural state, so we continued to the other side of the wide channel and decided to check out this point. Hey Molly. Okay, so we decided not to stay at that campsite. It's just it's open and there's some flat spots, but it's dirty. There's junk all around. But the primary thing is that there's no firewood. They pretty much cleaned it out. And as you can see here, there's lots of dead wood here and branches and things like that. Unfortunately, we did find some garbage here as well too, like bottles. Seems like they almost kind of came here and threw stuff. But right where that pack is, there is a flat spot right here. The main thing is we got to clear all the branches off this tree, which will be used for firewood. But there's a nice flat spot right here, and we're going to utilize that. Put the hot tent there. I always kind of like these clean, well, so-called clean virgin sites, because it's usually cleaner, and there's lots of firewood, and it's not dirty. So we'll clean this up a bit, and then we'll set up camp. Okay, as you can see, we've cleared the area back here all the branches. Now we're gonna set up the hot tent and get it all set up so we can get nice and cozy in there. So there's that triangle piece. The triangle piece is a vital part of the hot tent frame as it joins the poles together. Without, you can't assemble the frame. And as you can clearly see, I was puzzled as to where it was as I kept looking.
Oh, I know what picture you're talking about. Where is it? Did you put it in the stove?
I hope I brought it.
You didn't bring it. We're going home.
Usually, I pack those pieces with the stove as they were kept together, but I would find out later I separated them last winter when I devised a new packing system that was for hot tenting in the winter, which obviously wouldn't apply now. So yes, instead of in the stove, they were tucked away in another pack at home. Tuck this up.
It's not in this. No, it's not in this bag. You don't remember packing it.
So, I feel like the biggest idiot ever. I don't know if it's age, but lately I've been forgetting a lot of things. And today, as we started setting up the tent, Anita asked me where the joining pieces, connecting pieces. And when she said that, my heart sunk because I knew I didn't pack it. So the thing is, with the snow tracker tent, there's poles. There are these corner pieces that insert into the poles that act as the corner piece and that connects 3 poles together. And without that, you can't assemble the tent. Anyhow, so because of that, we have no other tent. I mean, we have a tarp, but I don't know if Anita would want to sleep underneath a tarp. And it was also sprinkling rain as well too, so it was just a bad situation overall. The rain kind of stopped. It seems like it's kind of spitting and then it goes away. But anyhow, I am just so upset at myself. There's a canoe. We've already put pack and barrel down there, and Anita's up there, and I'm just gonna go get the other pack and the barrel. So unfortunately, it looks like we're going home. I just don't know how we can set up that tent. Unless we guy it or something, I don't know. Now, this really sucks. Despite trying my best to figure out how to set up the hot tent without poles, there was no quick solution. It was also raining again, and with less than ideal conditions to try and figure out another option, in the end we decided to leave. It was a tough pill to swallow, and I was extremely upset at myself. But more upset that I ruined a perfectly good family canoe trip. It may have been the Thanksgiving weekend, but there was nothing to be thankful for my blunder. Hey Max, we're gonna try take 2 on this trip. So we were trying to decide between going and not going. Part of us was saying that we're old, we're tired, we just wanted to stay home, but we decided to make another go of it. And I know it's just going to be an overnight, but we're just going to go to the same access point, and there's a campsite right on an island just right by the vehicles. So we're not going to take the hot tent, and we're going to take the dogs out and try to have some fun. We've got, like I said, our Thanksgiving dinner to make. We made all that prep to do this, and as much as Anita wants to stay home, I convinced her to go, and I'm sure the dogs will appreciate it. So, take 2 on our family canoeing disaster vacation. So here we are, back on the Highway 400. Take 2 of our crazy family canoe trip. We're leaving a little earlier this morning, so hopefully we can miss most of the holiday traffic. But we're probably not as eager. Not all of us are as eager this morning to go on this trip. but I convinced them, and I've supplied the most important person with a large coffee, and I think it's gonna work.
If the dog pukes, I'm gonna gift wrap it to you. Okay.
Yeah. So good morning. We are back at Harris Lake, take 2. It's a beautiful morning. It's just about 9 o'clock now, and it's so much warmer than it was yesterday. It's supposed to be a warm day today, a beautiful day, and then it's supposed to get cold overnight and cooler tomorrow. It's breezy today, but again, it looks like it's going to be beautiful. So looking forward to making up for the mess up from yesterday. What do you have to say about?
No comment.
Do you still love me?
I think so.
Hey guys, are you excited to be back here? Hey, are you excited to be back here? They're confused, like we were here before. A gorgeous morning it certainly was, and unseasonable October temperatures certainly made it worth coming back. We were feeling a lot better now that we were here, and looking forward to making the most of the remaining 2 days. One thing that was obvious was how much less gear we had to load in the canoe. It made things a lot easier. Okay, let's go. Okay, so this is take 2, plan B. We're back on the water, and it's a warm, beautiful fall morning. And Anita's trying to paddle with a poodle on her lap. Obviously, it's not very effective.
It worked. It's just a bit slow.
All right, so we are at our nice campsite. It's actually a really, really nice campsite. Beyond the trees, there are vehicles there. That's where we parked. So as you can see, it's very close to the access point. There's a fire pit there, and there's tons of firewood there. But as you can see, it's really nice and open. There's a perfect camping spot right there. There's the dogs. I mean, it's perfect because they can run around, and pretty much we're surrounded by water. So if they wanted to run, they can't really get that far. There's another small little island over there. And we're gonna get set up, and we're gonna probably have some breakfast because we didn't eat anything on our way up. We just wanted to get here as soon as possible. But looking forward to enjoying the day.
Come on. Come on. Good boy.
Is on your side.
Where's Molly? I can foresee some issues with this thing.
Yeah.
Keep on putting it in.
Elastic looks like it's super stretched for some reason.
Max. Stay here. I gave you that much lead.
There you go. So, why are you manually pulling the mattress?
Why am I not using this? You know, I distinctly remember saying, "Hun, we need batteries." Thankfully,
I charged them. I don't know where I put them.
yeah, just like you don't know where you put the tent poles, connectors, and the guide wires.
I know. I'm on a roll.
So thankfully we did pack this. Otherwise, you'd be sitting here
Blowing.
blowing calm.
I bet you we'll find the batteries afterwards.
Yeah, I'm sure we will.
Okay, so we got the tent set up, and Anita's just setting the tent up, the stuff inside. Because we haven't had breakfast, instead of getting a fire started, we brought an alcohol stove, so I'm gonna get it set up and then boil some water. We're gonna have some coffee and cheese scone, is it?
Cheese scones and egg.
That she baked at home. So we'll have that for breakfast. That was actually our lunch, but we didn't eat a lunch yesterday. Today we're not, that could be our lunch, but we've got some snacks. We're gonna just have that for lunch. Just because we're gonna have a very big supper. We'll share that with you.
Although, didn't you decrease our snack bag contents?
We only have one snack bag. You know what? If we come to the point that we're starving, we have a vehicle right there. We'll be fine. Just being overly dramatic.
Oh, yes.
Anyhow, this is a transient stove. It's an alcohol stove, and it's something I started using a few years ago, and I actually love it. Primarily because it is silent. There are some negatives to an alcohol stove, primarily using it when it's cold because alcohol doesn't light very well. And the other part is the stove itself. When you run out, you have to actually let the container cool down before you refill. So you kind of have to strategically time how you cook. Otherwise, it may burn off, and then you're kind of left without. Well, you gotta wait till you can refill it and start cooking again. So that's probably the two primary disadvantages of an alcohol stove, but I do love it. We can mainly cook, I don't think we've had too many problems. We were able to cook most of our meals with one allotment of alcohol and even extras. So we've been pretty good that way. There we go. There we go. Slit.
Molly? No.
I don't know. Probably in the barrel. Ooh, it's hot.
This bag, right?
So Anita baked us some fresh cheese scones yesterday. Or no, the day before. Anyhow,
Yeah, it was one of those days. I don't remember what day.
they're good. And the dog wants some too. If I put this down for a second, this scoundrel will run off with it.
She'll inhale it.
Mm-hmm. There we go. It's really a beautiful morning. There's a little bit of a breeze coming from the west side, and that's why we set up the stove just behind the tent, just to give us a little bit of a wind block. But it's going to be gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
So what we're going to do is we're going to get the rest of the stuff set up. We've got some work to do. We've got to get a pile of firewood ready for our supper, our Thanksgiving cookout. And then we'll probably go for a nice paddle and tour around the lake.
Mm-hmm.
And take these pooches with
What
us
is that now?
for a little bit of adventure. Hey, Molly.
Watch
No.
the heat, eh?
No. No, you don't do that. After breakfast, we finished setting up the rest of camp. We still had some work to do in preparation for the special Thanksgiving supper we had planned later in the day. But for now, we took some time to relax and enjoy the incredible October weather. There's people pulling up to the access point with their boats, and they noticed it. So we are on a grill finding mission for our supper tonight. We're gonna look for grills so that we can put our Dutch oven on. We could put on the coals, but because it's got to be heated for a bit of time, we'd rather have a grill so that we can keep heating wood underneath it to keep the fire going. So yesterday, when we found the campsite, I mean, it wasn't a campsite. We just found some flat spot on this point, and right across it was a well-used campsite that I showed you earlier, and that one has tons of grill. So that's actually where we're going to go. It's pretty much to where our original campsite was going to be, and we're going to pick up a grill and come back. We're just going to do a little bit of a paddle while we're out there because it's turning out to be a beautiful day. The clouds clearing a bit, and it's getting sunny. So we are back at the campsite. The campsite that we didn't stay at. This is the one that's well used, and as you can see, this is the fire pit. There's a big grill here. That's a really good one. We'll leave them the good one, but as you can see, there are half a dozen plus grills here. So I'll grab one of these. Maybe this one looks pretty sturdy. I'll take this one, and this one will follow us back to our campsite, and we'll have a nice grill for our supper tonight. So Anita and the pups are running around having fun over there, and after we've run them here for a bit, we're going to continue paddling down this lake and check it out, check to see if there's other campsites and see what other things to see around this lake. We might as well. The only thing, it's a little bit breezy, as you can probably see, but otherwise it's actually a beautiful day. It's really warm, but it is supposed to get pretty cold tomorrow. No moosey. Yeah, it looks like a blind. Okay. We would have loved to continue paddling around and explore, but we had more work to do in preparation for Thanksgiving dinner, and with the limited daylight at this time of year, we decided to head back to camp.
Where's your knife?
I'm ignoring you because this tastes so good. Mmm.